Well, good evening, everyone. I hope the end of winter is treating everybody nicely and the beginning of spring is bringing hope for upcoming seasons in spring and summer and even fall way off in the distance. I'm kicking off this year's hiking and backpacking season with something a little bit different on my YouTube channel. Way back in July 2021, I got to complete a route around Mount Rainier that I call the hybrid route. I got to start at Box Canyon. I went up the east side of the park, across the north side, and then down the west side, ending at Kautz Creek trailhead. This route was special because I utilized cross-country zones, portions of the Wonderland Trail, and portions of the Northern Loop to complete kind of a crescent ring around Mount Rainier. It was very special because I got to camp and hike in a lot of places that most people don't get to enjoy or experience. For such a unique trip, I've been waiting and wanting to present it to you in a very unique way. This is the first video in a series that I have planned where I'm going to draw the highlights of the hybrid route. I'm going to choose one picture per day, maybe two pictures per day that highlight the grand moments of this trip, and then I plan on drawing them out for you. Today, I'm going to draw Rainier from the southeast, Little Tahoma, and Whitman Crest, which was the second day of the trip. When drawing landscapes, it's really important to work from the background to the foreground. And since I'm right-handed, I'm going to generally work left to right. First, I start by tracing the horizon line. Then I shade in the sky behind that. Because it was a cloudless day, I just have to use light graphite. I'm putting down my lightest layer and then a little bit darker on top of that, and then smooth it all out with tissue paper. Next, I trace all the cleavers and rock features out. I trace them lightly, and then I'll go back through and shade them, starting with the lightest shade possible, working into darker shades. Once the rock features are completed, I then go through and draw in all the snowfields, ice, and glaciers. I start with my lightest shade, smoothing it out, and going in and adding successive layers of darker pencil until it is detailed to my liking. At this point in the drawing, the entire background and sky is completed. I just need to maybe go back and do some touch-up work later. I have the middle ground all drawn out and outlined. And next, I'm going to start shading and adding volume and definition to the middle ground section, working my way forward. First I lay down the lightest shade that is observable, and after that I go through, smooth it out with my tissue paper. I'm kind of trying to go in the shape that I want it to be in. Once it's all smoothed with tissue paper, I go through now with a little bit darker of a pencil. This is a 1. And I add definition and make the rock take some shape. So here I have this giant rock face all done. I have this snowfield and this snowfield. And the left side of the paper is pretty much drawn. And from this point on, I'm going to start moving this way First, kind of been experimenting with this charcoal white, even though this is graphite. The charcoal white is helping to highlight the snow. Now that this side is done, I'm going to go through and all the details of the Whitman Glacier up here. All right, at this stage of the drawing, I have the complete background all done and detailed to where I like it. I have this middle ground done a lot of detailing to the crevasses here on the Whitman Glacier. Really like how this snout turned out. The next step now is to move more into the foreground. This ridge of rock, Whitman Crest right here. I'm going to start working on that and all the details and just continue to move, more into the foreground and from the left side of the page to the right side of the page, which means I got to do this rock formation next. You can see at this point in the drawing how it's all starting to come together now. It looks completely different from when I started. I have Whitman Crest all completed and detailed how I like it. And next, continuing with my left to right and top to down, I'm going to do this snowfield of the Ohanakaposh Glacier. And then last, I'll work on this corner of jagged rocks. Almost ready to finish up this drawing. I drew in these snow slopes on the upper Ohanakaposh Glacier. There's Whitman Crest all done right here. Now all I got left is this tiny little corner down here. It's going to be all rock. So I'm going to get going on that, and I should be done with this drawing in no time. This is the benefit of drawing this picture the way that I did, from top to bottom and left to right. Because now I can work on this last corner without having to put my palm on any of the work that's done, so it doesn't smudge it. The only thing I want smudging it is this tissue paper right here. And since it is the most in the foreground, I'm really going to try and make this as detailed as I can.